Hello everyone, myself Vodnala Shivalingam, a qualified NET JRF in Commerce. I am a verified dedicated Unacademy platform for teaching to the UGC NET Paper 1 and Paper 2 Commerce in the English medium of instruction. Guys, you can watch my daily free live session and plus courses at Unacademy plus platform for the Paper 1 and Paper 2 Commerce in the English medium of instruction. Follow the simple steps. Just go through with the link given in the description. My profile of Unacademy is given in the description. Click on the follow button. After that, you can just see there are various courses which are available at a plus subscription. You have to take a plus subscription in order to access to all these courses. And you can also see there are batch courses which are going on for the paper 1 and paper 2 of various educators and me. And you can just see there is a special classes section. These are daily free live sessions at Unacademy. It will happen. Just click on the CL button so that you can see upcoming live sessions which are scheduled. So whatever the upcoming live session which are scheduled, just go to that and click on notify me. Once you click on notify me, it will ask you the invite code if you are a first time user of Unacademy. Then in such case, enter the invite code Shiva Live to unlock the free live sessions, as well as the same code you can utilize for taking Unacademy plus subscription to recognize as my student, as well as to get 10% additional discount on the plus subscription amount. Let's meet in the free live session. Hello everyone, as part of the UGC NET 2021 results, as part of the topper series, we are going to interact now with the 3 members who cracked the JRF in Commerce only. So let's try to interact with them. I'm introducing proudly the 3 JRF candidates over here. That is Anand Manoharan, JRF in Commerce, and Abhaya Pandey, JRF in Commerce, as well as Shivani Rajendran, JRF in Commerce. Now the tagline is changed from normal name to JRF. Let's try to interact with them. Hello, 3 of you, and heartily congratulations to you and your family members. How are you feeling about the results? Firstly, can you please just explain about your expression after the result? Anandji.
Yeah, sir. Thanks for having me here, and good afternoon to everybody. To be frank with you, sir, after receiving the results, I feel vindicated because I took a huge risk of leaving my cushy job from corporate, and then I started preparing for UGC NET and JRF. So of course, after receiving the results, I feel vindicated, and then I put a pat on my back saying, okay, you are in the right track.
Yes.
So and then I'm really excited to be a part of this interview panel as well, sir.
Great. Abhaya, exactly after the result, how was your expression?
Yes, sir. Exactly after the results, I was in the classroom teaching that day. I was there in class 10th in my in the school where I teach, and I just told one of my friend to check the result. As soon as she told me, means I was like, what is this? This is my result. Okay, so I have cracked JRF. So means immediately I informed my students first of all, and sir, I remembered you. I messaged that very moment only, and I informed you first of all. I was very happy, sir.
Great.
That finally.
Yes. Shivani?
Sir, actually, when the results came, I was traveling. I was traveling from Kerala to Tamil Nadu. In between, for around 2.5 hours, I didn't have networks. I knew that the result came, but I was not able to check the result and know whether I have qualified or not qualified. So for around 2.5 hours, I was in a very tensed mood. And as soon as I got network, the first thing I did was to check the results. And I read it loud. My father was driving, and I read it loud that my result has got released and I have qualified with 98 percentile. And he was in cloud 9. He was very, very happy. He stopped the car then and there, and we bought a cake and we ate there itself, and we celebrated on that moment. And my mother had tears. She was very proud. This was my first attempt. So we never expected that. I was expecting a NET, but I never expected JRF would come to me my way. So it was a very happy moment for me, sir. And I started calling everybody, my relatives, and all those who supported me. I informed them and made them also happy and proud of me.
Great. So if I can go into the preparation strategy questions. So how about your paper 1 and paper 2 timings used to be during the preparation time? And because it's been a 1 year almost for this 2021 examination. This was not happened before also. Even 2020 was happened, but this is a merged examination. Our expectations were more, and our thought process towards a competition is too high because we are overestimating a competition outside. But finally, in spite of that overestimations also, we are able to crack this. So during the preparation time, how will you tackle the paper 1 and paper 2? The classification of the timing, can you give? Anandji.
Sir, to start with, initially in the first couple of months, I didn't know how to allocate the time. So I was juggling between the classes, what has been taught in the Unacademy. But gradually, I got to know how to spend time between these two subjects, because it is very difficult for us to plan in advance without knowing the depth of the subjects, whether it's paper 1 or paper 2. So once we get accustomed to the subjects, okay, these are the subjects, and some subjects are so small and some are very large, right? So once you know, okay, where the subjects are depth and where the subjects are very narrow, start allocating time gradually. That comes on your way. Yes. Maybe first initial months, you may not be able to allocate time. No, depends on whether paper 150 or 50% or paper 250, paper 250%. But once you get into the the cycle of momentum, I would say, then you will allocate yourself where you want to spend more and where you want to spend less. There is no general rule as such that I can say, but it's preferable to spend at least 50-50 in both the subjects, because we need to qualify in both the papers.
Yes. Equal importance has to be given to both papers. Abhaya.
Yes, sir. Same for me also. Sir, equal importance should be given to both the papers, paper 1 as well as paper 2, sir. Means students, they keep on reading paper 2 for a longer period of time, and they forget that paper 1 is also more, means as much important as their subject paper. So, sir, I followed your classes for both the papers. Means from the very beginning, I tried making notes and I followed all the material which you gave. And so this way I went on my preparation. And so the mock test also, they were also there.
Okay. Shivani?
Sir, at first when I started my preparations, I started in September 2020 for giving my first attempt in December 2020. So completely I was in a blank state of mind where I didn't know what to prepare, how to prepare, and where to give most of my importance to. So what I did was I blindly believed in your classes. I enrolled myself to yours and Niharika ma'am's batch course, and I just wanted to know how to prepare and what are the topics to give more importance to. So what I initially did was to cover the portions completely. We around took 3 months to complete the portions, I think, sir. So first of all, we completed the portions. The paper allocation timing was around, in the morning sessions I used to cover the paper 2, and in the evening sessions I used to cover the paper 1. So as soon as I complete each portions, each topic, I used to allot one hour for the revision of the portions that we completed earlier in the live lecturers. Okay. And then I took every weekend, on every Sundays I used to give a mock test, and that was my way of learning, sir. Also, I made sure to make many number of charts to remember, mainly the people and environment subject. We had a lot of years to learn and rankings to be understood and remembered. So I made a lot of charts to remember all those topics, sir. That was how my preparations went. And I gave equal importance to paper 1 as well as paper 2. Most of the aspirants, NTA NET aspirants, what the mistake that they do is they concentrate a lot on paper 2 because that is a subject they are well known about. So, and they are very lethargic about paper 1. So that is why they lack marks in NTA's exam. So my advice for them is to prepare in an equal way, to equalize the both subjects and learn, sir.
Great. And as you mentioned, people and environment, I just want to ask a specific question. How will you manage that people and environment chapter, that is a unit number 9? And even some people feel difficult because this is a syllabus which is hectic, like a environment and ecology of the UPSC syllabus. But the questions were also not a same trend of question, but there are a static questioning areas like, as you said, MDG, SDG, and the areas that which we can remember. But other areas where we can't able to estimate which questions are going to come from. So how will you tackle that unit number 9? And you can mention also about unit number 10 also, if we can say. Anandji.
Yes, sir. To me, the people development environment is a different animal together to deal with it. When I first saw the syllabus, I was taken aback and I thought I wouldn't be able to clear the paper because that was completely biology, chemistry, you name it. Okay, you name anything that is in science that comes into it. From my childhood, I hate science. That's why I chose commerce. But unfortunately, I started getting these science questions in PDE. The jokes apart, how to start preparing that? First thing I did is I completely studied your materials that you gave a PDF of I think somewhere around some 100 pages or so. So that I tried to understand okay what it tells and all of that. But the major learnings comes from solving the PYQs because you may not be able to remember every facts that is available in the PDF, right? So what I would suggest is start preparing the PDF. Study the PDF, but also start doing your PYQs that you are, I think that you will come up with your classes every day, right?
Yes.
So once you solve it, then you will get a hang of, okay, this is what they're asking, like STG, MDG, and certain facts about, stratosphere, exosphere, thermosphere and all. So what I did is I made a small diagrams about all this. I kept it in front of my study table. So as and when you get time, you just see, okay, this is what stratosphere, exosphere and all of that. So slowly, it will definitely take time because I know many people when they start preparing for PDE, right? After some point of time, they will give up stating that, okay, sir, I can't do this, sir. So much to do it. How do I do it? Which I didn't do it. What I did is, of course, there are some times where you feel very overwhelming. So you will say, okay, let me give up PDE. I'll give up 5 marks. Don't do that because even 2 marks may get you JRF in your exam, right? So slowly, gradually build up your base in PDE. And not necessarily you need to know all the chemical reaction formula like H2O, NTO. I am sure they're not going to ask it. Even if they ask you, right? Of course, many of us wouldn't be able to answer it. So we all fall in the same category.
Yes.
But make sure the facts are very clear to you. You should be able to utter or rattle off all the STG, MDGs, even if someone wakes you up in the middle of the night of 12 o'clock. That is how I studied. There's no other way around. And I remember one question this year, they asked about the energy security of India, some option they given, whether it is water, solar, or sun or something, which are very common to us. If you read the newspaper every day, our government talks about solar power, right? So I chose that, and that happens to be the right answer. So make sure you know the basics about PDE that is covered in the syllabus as well as that comes in the print media or in the online media. That would help you to get at least 3 marks out of 4 marks, out of 5 marks, I'm sure about it. That is how I did my PDE preparation, sir.
Abhaya, how will you tackle the people and environment?
The people and environment, so whatever PDFs you give, they were the best. They were in the nutshell available. Means whatever I found, the charts which were given by you, sir, I made the same in my notebooks. And so I recall that along with the year means where the particular event and the year with the objective, the way you taught us, sir, the same way, sir. And the rest of the parts, sir, the static portion, they were also enough. I don't think except 1 or 2 questions, everything was there, which was there in whatever you taught us, sir.
Yes, because we can't cover all the
So
things.
it's this way I covered.
Yes, yes, Abhaya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Means many of the subjects are there which we have, like people and environment, higher education. Not many things we can cover and study. Means so, sir, we have to stick to whatever we have and keep updated with the current affairs which are going on. And so it is also the things which are means currently happening. We have to take care of that also during the preparation.
So as you are mentioning about a previous year question, let's talk about the previous year questions of both papers. So how these previous year question played a major role in getting a JRF? Is it actually required to solve the PYQ? Shivani.
Yes, sir. So it is more, sir, it is very, very important, sir, for paper one, it is means the candidate should not sit an exam without solving paper one PYQ. So they are that important. Means that entire 80% of the thing is drawn out from there only. Like, so you told us to not to sit an exam without solving 2020 PYQs, and this really helped me in my exam, sir, on the real day, on the day of exam also.
How about paper 2 PYQs?
Sir, paper 2 PYQs, sir, see, this time the commerce paper, it was the level was bit high then past years. So, sir, on paper 2, the concept and that mind mapping thing is more important, and of course PYQs also. We means it is a must, sir. Nobody should miss PYQs.
Shivani,
And
how
so
about your...
commerce building is means a concept building is the main thing.
Yes, Abhaya. How about Shivani?
Sir,
The previous year
yes, sir.
questions.
PYQs are very, very important. That is not, I cannot call it important. It is essential for someone to attend an exam. Like PYQs, if we have covered 30, if we can cover a portion, 30% of the portion can be covered through lectures. Other 70% of the lecture can only be covered through PYQs, sir. The concepts, there's something called this branch learning, isn't it, sir? From the options to the concept, that is the branch learning concept. So what we did is the PYQ sessions, in our PYQ sessions, each options were explained in a very proper and elaborate manner. So that gave us an idea on what the options are and how to make an educated guess as well. Even if some topics are connected to that options and the questions are asked in the examination, we will be able to make an educated guess as well. So PYQs are very, very helpful. That too in people and environment. We have people and environment in that subject. PYQs are most important, sir, because we cannot cover the entire people and environment development subject into a roof, under a roof. We have to go and make some research on each topics. PYQs, and I have to mention this, people and environment charts that you had provided, the convention charts, the ranking charts, and the primary pollutant, secondary pollutant charts, and the single concept series that you had brought for the people and environment. The most important topics were explained in a very crisp and clear manner. The 20 minutes class for a single concept series were about 20 minutes only. For the entire 20 minutes, you took the effort to teach in a very elaborate and brief manner a single concept. These concepts were the concepts that were repeatedly asked in previous years. As far as NTA's things, they don't repeat the questions, but they repeat the concepts.
Yes.
So our entire concentration was towards the concepts. Concept building was the most important aspect that we looked for, sir. So I made lot of charts and the mnemonics that we discussed in the classes, and that there were so many mnemonics that helped us during the examination also. The rankings, the energy emissions, all those were very, very important to learn. And as you had already told in the class, you always mention in the class to be aware of all those, and you give us glimpse about all the topics. So those topics were very, very helpful for us. All the effort that you and Niharika ma'am had taken was a very huge support for us, sir.
Great. So Anandji, how about your previous year questions?
Sir, I would say the PYQs are the founding blocks of your understanding, right? You can study anything under the sun, but how do you test your knowledge that you are capable of answering? Because after all, at the end of the day, you have to score marks, right? So PYQ is the only way to test your knowledge whether you got the concepts right or not. That is how I would say. Okay. Without PYQs, you will not be able to build your knowledge base from foundations to advanced level. Especially when it comes to paper one, there are many concepts which look like, yes, I understood, but you may not be able to select the right answers in the mock test or PYQs or whatever it is.
Yes.
So in order to fix that problem, PYQs is the fundamental block. especially when it comes to higher education, research and methodology, logics, and there is one PDE, which is very, very, crucial and very complex subjects. So for those complex subjects, once we are done with the syllabus, for example, particularly, let's say I am studying research methodology, I am halfway through the subject, but by the time like 3-4 days down the time, right, you may forget what you have studied in the day one. So that time you have to practice your PYQs to make sure that concept that you studied are tested well. Are you getting it right? If you're not getting it right, that means your concept understood, whatever you understood is it's wrong.
Yes.
And many times what happens to me is, right, I believe, okay, this concept is 100% clear to me. But when it comes to solving PYQs, I may go wrong. For example, key behavior and helpful behavior. One of the most, I would say, very similar looking, but completely two different concepts. You might end up wrong many, many times. But given your PYQs, if you attempt those PYQ, right, you will understand the difference. Okay, helpful is different, key behaviors are different. So the nuances in the subjects can be tested by PYQs. So I would advise all the aspirants to not to give away PYQs, because without PYQs you won't be able to build the foundation of your courses or concepts, whatever it is. Once you're done with the PYQs, then you move on to MCQs and then mock tests gradually, something like that. That really helps you to gradually accumulate the knowledge from day one to the exam date.
Sometimes theory will fail in understanding, but practice of a PYQ and that too practice with the explanation is necessary. This is always PYQ or the hero or the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, whatever you say for our UGC NET exam. It is not just the UGC NET. I believe this is for every examination, because understanding is a past is a better for the future exam. So
and one thing that I want to tell you, sir, especially about the PYQs, we literally enjoyed. I believe every one of us enjoyed your PYQ sessions, because we tend to fight with you, sir. How can you say this is right? How can you say this is wrong? I remember those fights when we did it.
We had also taken around 1 hour discussions to get one PYQ correct.
Yeah. So basically, debate is the one way to make sure you get the clarity, right? So that literally helped us to clarify the doubts that we have in the mind. So your PYQs are must for all the aspirants.
Yes, sir.
So
and also I have to mention this, Shiva sir is very, very patient towards answering the doubts. And he ensures that each doubts are cleared.
Yeah.
Thank you so much that you people gave me like confidence and improved the patience. Now I habituated for it. Thank you so much for making me strong in dealing with you all. And moreover, if I can go into the final destination, like once the date got declared finalized, now we need to start our revision, and we need to do mock test also. So before the exam, 15 to 20 days, what you have done, like about the revision and mock test? Abhaya.
So before means exactly before 10 to 15 days of the exam, I ensured that I revise everything of paper 1 and paper 2. I first revise them and go with full length mock test. Means I targeted that at least 3 I have to give. 3 mock tests just before the exam on the same time slot. Means the admit card, sir, if means people remember, it was not out that at that time. So I made a slot according to that only, and I ensured that I sit and give 3-hour full length mock test. Means just before the week when the exam was going to happen. Mine was on in the third shift, sir, 26th November, shift 3. It was morning shift. So I ensured that I gave full the mock test in the morning.
Great.
Yes, sir.
How about Shivani?
Sir, I was working actually during that period of time. 10 days prior the exam, I was very much confused and I was unable to handle both. It was a very stressful moment. I know all the NTA aspirants, all the NET aspirants would have faced the same difficulties. to handle both my revision as well as my work. It was a very huge difficulty for me. So what I used to do is I had so much of notes, handmade notes. Though your notes were sufficient, I also made notes by myself. So the notes that I had for the revisions, I used my notes, sir, as well as I also gave mock tests. I made sure I made sure to give at least one mock test, full length mock test a day, sir. So after completing I was working as an assistant professor here in Coimbatore itself, sir. So as soon as my college hours gets over, I come to my room and make sure to attend the mock test for 3 hours. No matter what, even if there are so many commitments, work commitments or any personal commitment, I keep it aside and make sure to give a mock test. And each time I gave mock test, I found new concept from the mock test itself.
Yes.
So that was also a huge pressure for me. Is there any? It's going to be as commerce is a big ocean. We cannot complete the entire ocean in 10 days. So I just concentrated the previous year concepts that were very important for us. I again revised it, went to your lectures, then attended PYQs, MCQs, and also you provided a lot of surprise PDFs for the toppers. So single liner sessions, one day one concept session, then one day one DI session, RC sessions. All those sessions were a push-up for us. It boosted our morale as well, and that is how my last 10 days preparations were. Give my mock test, then analyze the mock test answers and get to know new concepts, and also learn whatever we had learned earlier, revise all the charts, rankings, then processes, procedures, and all those, sir. Because we will not get any direct questions in the net exam. All the questions will be statement wise, and we'll have to find out which is right statement, what follows and what doesn't follow, and is the conclusion right. Those kind of questions will be only asked in the net exam. So I concentrated in clearing all the concepts, or I had certain doubts in between. So what I do is I go back to the previous lecture, look into it again I keep it for 1.5x speed and listen to it again, and clear all my doubts and concepts, sir. And for the last day before the examination, I didn't give any mock test. I didn't prepare anything. I just chilled myself. I relaxed, and I wanted to go with a clear mind to the examination center, sir.
And
That
here I
was
need
my
to
way
mention one thing, that mock test we need to give it before the exam for making a time management rather than testing our concept.
Yes, sir.
Because we should
Yes, sir.
concentrate more on the time management, whether we are able to do it in within the 3 hours or not. About a paper one time consumption that we are taking it, and paper two how much we are taking it. That is more important than conceptual. Because if we keep on analyzing now, we'll get scared out of it. New concept
And
always will be there for each and every paper.
Yes, sir. And this year's commerce question paper was very difficult compared to the previous years. It was at a higher level. So this was my first attempt, sir. So when I went and sat in front of the computer, and I felt little aback. And I felt, okay, if I don't get this attempt also, I'm going to prepare consistently for the next attempt. I was mentally prepared for it, sir. So because the questions were in such a way where we couldn't find whether the answer was correct itself.
Yes.
All the questions were lengthy questions. So it was very confusing for a aspirant to choose whether the answer was correct. I will really give it to my educated guesses, I guess only, sir. In certain questions and all, it was very confusing that I had to take a lot of time, think, and give the answer. And I marked some questions for review, and at last came back to the questions and answered it, sir. And then I completed the DIs at the beginning, and then only went to the next questions.
Okay. Anandji, how about your last 15 days?
The last 15 days, every day I'll take one mock in the morning. And then in evening, I will revise the entire mock that I did it. Each and every questions, let's say 150 questions. I will make notes about the ones that went wrong, and also the ones with went right. because some questions, just because of some educated cases, you might have gotten it right, but you need to make sure why you gotten it right. So make sure that you make a note of all the, error. They call it error log. Keep the error log very well with you, so that it helps you to make sure you don't repeat the same mistake again in this next mock. Every day one mock before 15 days, but before the exam date, don't do anything. Don't even touch the notes, nothing. Just eat, sleep, watch TV, go back to sleep on time. Maybe if possible, do some exercise in the evening so that you can sleep well in the night. Get up in the morning and go to the exam hall. Don't think about results at all. Make sure your process is 100% perfect. Results will come automatically.
So finally, we have reached to a end of the discussion and the interaction with you all. It's great to hear from you all and your success strategy of entire 1 year of journey, which has realized the JRF. And all the best to your future endeavors, whether it is of PhD or the assistant professor, whatever it is going to be. You will come up with a success and smile on your face for a lifetime, whether it is of your family members or you. And all the best for the future.
So thank you so much, sir. We really owe a success to you, because even though we worked hard, but we need some mentorship, we need some guide how to go about it, right? So that space is completely filled between you and Nix, ma'am. Without you guys, it would be difficult for us to clear it at first attempt with your clear guidance. Thank you so much for your hard work and your PDF especially, because you made the many of our students' life easier by giving us the PDFs much concise and smaller version of that is possible in the world. Because without that, we would be scrambling on all the places, and then we wouldn't be able to get it in a very condensed way. So those things are literally helped us to clear it at first attempt. Also helped us to save our time and preparation. So I would advise all the aspirants to just follow your guidance and follow your classes, and make sure that you also put in your effort from your end, though your educators are putting their effort, because it should be like both the ends. So if that happens, I am sure NET or JRF will be at very close to your achieving end. I mean, you can literally get it at first shot itself. No need to wait for a couple of attempts.
Great.
Thank you so much, sir. And I feel that thank you is not even an ounce of what you and ma'am have done for me in my journey. It means, I am following you both since the last year, since I was in my MCOM first year masters. Then in the final year, when I'm out, I have JRF now. Earlier in first year, I had NET. And so then by immediately after my masters, I joined 10 days after my job. And even then I was studying, I was following you, sir. I always messaged you, and I always I was always it was there that I have to be in touch with you and ma'am. So sir, thank you so much for everything, sir. And in future also I will be in touch always.
Sir, thank you so much for giving such an opportunity to learn from you and ma'am, sir. We have learned a lot in subject as well as in life also. So we owe a success to you, and it wouldn't be possible, this JRF and NET wouldn't be possible without you and ma'am's continuous guidance and consistent support, sir. And all the notes that you had provided, your handmade notes as well as the PDFs, the PPTs, everything were so nutshell, and that is most important for an aspirant who is looking for something which is crisp and clear. We cannot learn everything under the roof in one place, but we got an opportunity to learn everything in one roof from you and Niharika ma'am's notes, sir. So it was a very great opportunity for us to learn, and thank you so much. It was an equal effort from our side and from your side, sir. So from here onwards, our success journey starts, and for each steps that we are going to take from now, your guidance and Niharika ma'am's guidance are so much essential for us, sir. Thank you so much. For all the aspirants looking for a good guide and good mentor, educator, or a friend or anything, you can blindly go enroll to sirs and Niharika ma'am's classes and start your learning, and your success is not so far.
So nice to hear from you all of you, and thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.